Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut. I am at home because we had a blizzard yesterday, so I have a little bit different setup. So you can't see me, you can just see my work surface. First we're going to check sound. Hang on. Okay. We have sound, yay, and I can see myself, so we have video too. My mom is at home, and she's going to be doing any links. Now, I do have my friend Tracy here with me, so if you have any questions, she can ask, or she can say them out loud to me, and we can get your questions answered. So, anyways, let's get going. We are making, and it's totally weird doing it at this setup, so we're making this square lever card, so I might have to adjust and do things backwards so you guys see me on the correct side.
Yeah,
so,
the comment is that it's upside down.
Oh, is it upside down?
Well, but it's reversed because it's like a mirror image.
Yeah. So, but when we get to me assembling, then I'm gonna work upside down and backwards, and you guys will work the right way. So I apologize for that. But yeah, we got a lot of snow yesterday, and we haven't been plowed out yet, and the roads haven't been plowed, and so no, I didn't risk it to go to the shop. So anyways, so first of all, we have this new square lever card kit. I'm going to pull out my kit. I think we're going to start on this one, but in the lever card kit. So let's talk about that first. So the lever card kit, and I'm going to turn upside down, is this window card, and it's this lever card insert. And then you also get a frame, and you get an envelope. So, and you get 5 of each. They're available in white or black. So that's okay. We have cloggy throats here this morning. So anyways, yeah, that's the new square lever card kit. We do have them in the A2 size, and I did use them. When did I use them? Oh, I used them a couple months ago. Or was that last month? I don't know. I'm losing track of time. I did the A2 one. So there's the A2 one and there's the square one. This is the square one. Let's see if I can get this going. If I do it this way, if we're going the right way. So I'm waiting for it to come up in front of me.
I was going to say the writing is up at the top.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, obviously I didn't do that correct. But, so let's get going. We're going to open up our kit. Pull everything out. So first of all, you make sure you have everything. We have our envelope. We have our happy for you and celebrate. We have another little strip. We have some squares. And if you're missing anything, just let us know. If you're watching this live, you can let us know right here. If you're watching the replay, I ask that you email me to Sarah, S-A-R-A-H, or info@thepapercut.com, and then we'll send you any missing pieces. And then you should have 2 of these longer pieces. You'll have 2 frames. Now this is a pattern paper that is supposed to be in February 1st. So it's called blacks, grays, and a bit of color. So that you have 2 of those. Then you have your lever card insert with the half square, and you have your square window card. So that's what you should have. Today we are going to do the assembly, and then with Jennifer, you'll do this whole blingy thing. Now, if you didn't get, either kit, you can use them, like if you just got Jennifer's kit, you could use this separately on a different card. If you just got my kit, you can put something else in that spot. So, I mean, if you want to make this exact card, you need both kits. And I believe Jennifer still has the kit up on hers, and I still have the kit up on mine. I don't have many left though. So if you're looking at getting the card kit, because I must say it is easier, you know, to match everything up with the pre-cut and scored cards. So anyways, we're gonna go to the assembly first. And I'm gonna do mine upside down, so then I think yours will be right until we get to the words. And I got my fingernails done, so I can't pick up paper very good. And they are Packer colors.
I was going to say they like your nails.
Yeah, I got the gold for the Packer game last weekend, and then I'm like, oh, if they lose, I'm kind of screwed because I have nice, pretty yellow/gold nails. So I'm going to get my demo pieces out first. So the card, and because it's going to be hard for you to see on the black. So the card, you know, folds, and you have your window. So I have the window on my, well, normally I have it on my left. Which side is it? Let's see. Yeah, I have my window on my left-hand side. Is it left right there?
Looking at the screen, it's on the right.
Okay, so I put my window on the left, so you guys are following me because I'm going to do mine upside down. Now for folding this, the part that has the half square cut into it, that you're going to do as a valley fold. Then the next one you're going to do as a mountain fold, and then you're going to do as a valley fold. So it's kind of this W-shaped thing with this little piece sticking out right here. And what's going to happen is if we fold this all the way back, see how the corners fit? So the corners of this square match the corners of the window card. So you want to bring those together, and then you are going to put tape on here, which I have to get my little Sharpie out, which I did have it earlier.
So for the people who are missing items, who are making comments that they're missing
can
items.
you write them down? You can write them on
But
this.
it just says Facebook user.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go back. So yes.
Okay.
No, or actually my mom is on too. So if you're missing something, my mom is watching, and I'm going to have her, which she should be able to hear me right now. She should be able to hear me. So Carol, who I can see, Carol Soliday, she's missing the black folding piece. So Carol, you can go ahead and get yours out of your other kit so you can get this one put together, and then we'll send you another one. So I do apologize for that. My mom will write them down, not Tracy, because Tracy doesn't see names. She just says Facebook or YouTube. So anyways, yes, Mom, if you can write those down, that would be helpful. So anyways, you're going to line those two up, and then you're going to put tape on the frame. And I'm going to do this again. I got my demo one, and once we have tape on that, once those are lined up, you should be able to just fold that forward. Okay, so I'm going to do that on my demo one, and then I'm going to go ahead and do it on my black one. It's going to be harder for you guys to see on my black one, but you'll get an extra chance. So again, make sure those squares are perfectly lined up right here. And then you have tape right here. You're going to fold that over. Okay, so let me go get my other one. It's a lot of picking up with nails that don't really pick up. So again, we're going to fold it. We're going to valley fold it. We're going to mountain fold it. We're going to valley fold it. And then we are going to line up our squares. We are going to put tape right here. Now, one thing you can do, if you wanted to see like if you had this in different colors, like you had a black kit and a white kit, and you wanted to intermingle them, like you could take a little, you know, a little strip off all the way around, so then you'll see the opposite color. So, oh, my stomach's growling. Hopefully you can't hear that. So anyways, yes, line those up. Those have to be like perfectly lined up in those corners. Tape right here, and then you fold that over. So now I'm going to bring my other one back over here. Now to you have to get this lever part to swing around. So if right now, if we folded on these scores, I'm going to put a big kink right here, which we don't want. So we actually need to pick that part up and see how that lever swings around. So we're going to pick that up so our lever swings around, and then we can fold on our other folds. Then we're going to put tape. Again, I lost my Sharpie. So we're going to put tape right here and right here. It could be X's because I did X's before. And again, I'm going to do it with my black one too. And then once we do that, we're going to fold this over. And part of our card is going to attach to right here. And I'll do it again with my other one. Oh man, Becky missed a bunch of them. So go into your other kit and get the black folding one out. And then we will mail those out. She must have had one little bad section where she missed putting the folding one in there, which is an essential part of the card. So we will get those out right away on Monday to you. I do apologize, but that's the lever card. So now let's go to our other one. So I'm back to my black one. And remember I said you don't want to just fold over on your scores because you'll put a big kink right here. If you pick that front section up and you make that kind of flop around, you need your lever to go around. And then you're going to put tape right here. And again, just fold your card. So that's the basic lever card assembly, and then we have some other things we're going to add. And I do apologize for those that are missing that lever piece, because yes, that is a major part of the card. So now let's go to our other pieces that we have. First of all, we have the square, which it's going to fit kind of tight over the top of that because this is 3 3/4 right here, and this is 3 3/4. So it does fit fairly tight right over the top of that. Now this is another instance that if you wanted to, you could trim a little bit off of each of the sides, and then you could have a little bit of a layer on the front of your card. And that's totally up to you. I didn't do that on my card, but it's up to you if you want to do that, because right now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that square frame on there. Now in the kit, you do get a black or white square frame. Depending if you ordered the black kit, you get black. If you ordered a white kit, you get white. So if you wanted to stamp there, you could do stamping, or with the black, you could do some of the, different metallic sprays or whatever, or you could do some of the metallic inks, or if you have two kits, the black and the white, you could mix and match those kits. So let's go ahead and we are going to put the frame on. All right, now when I was gonna be at work, I was gonna show you how to die cut your own frame. So I'm gonna do that also in a little bit. I don't have my die cutter here, so I can just kind of show you. But see how I'm kind of lining that frame up with my fingers to make sure it's like totally perfectly centered on there. So we have our frame. Now, say you have a 6x6 piece of paper. If you have some square dies and you have a 6x6 piece of paper, you could take and like if you want to do this on a piece of printed paper, so you would need square dies, but you could take and you could outline one of these with a pencil preferably. I'm just doing it with a Sharpie, and then you can cut it out with your square frame die. If you even have one that's a hair bigger than 3 3/4, you can cut it, and then you'll have a border going on the inside too. So if you cut it 6 by 6, you'll go edge to edge. If you cut it a little bit in, you'll get a little frame around the outside. If you wanted to make your own out of a piece of printed paper, which I did, you would take your frame, you know, you could trace it, because then you have the position of it, and then you could die cut it. And if you had a 4-inch frame, then you would have a little border going on the inside of here also. So that's just a little how-to, you know, in case you don't want to use the frame that comes in your kit. So anyway, so we have that. We have these 2 pieces. Now this is cut, this silver mirror card is again cut to almost exactly 3 3/4, so it fits in there pretty tight, and it fits right to the edge. So we're going to go ahead and put tape on that, but you can see how it fits pretty tight in there. If you don't want it as tight, you can trim a little bit off of there, and then you'll show a little bit of black around the edge of that also. And then you could do the same with this one, you know, but if you want them edge to edge, like on the picture, you're just going to attach that right in there. Or you can trim a little bit off of 2 sides of each of these to show a black border in there. Actually, I might do that with mine. You don't have to, but I'm just going to show you, because on my other one I have 3 layers and I don't want to cut 3 layers. So this is a if you want to, and I'm just going to show it on this one, but this is not a part of your design. I'm just going to show you what it will look like if you take a hair off. So if I take a little bit off of both, then you're going to see a little bit of that black border around there. So, and that's a totally if you want to do that thing. So don't cut them if you don't want to. I just did, just so I could show you how you can use different size squares. So, okay, that was my mom. I was just reading her comment. So, thank you, Mom. And normally we're not missing that many pieces. So. But when you hand do everything, that's bound to happen. And yes, we will get them right out in the mail to you on Monday. So, and now I'm going to attach that there. And remember, I trimmed a little bit off, so I'm going to see a little bit of black around there. All right, so we've got that. Now on the inside, I did trim a little bit off all the way around my other frame, and then I just folded it in half in order to attach it. Now you can trim it in half if you want to. I just folded it. So on my second frame, I did trim a little bit off of all 4 sides, so you see a little bit of black on the inside. So I trimmed only about a 1/16 off of all the way around, but it doesn't matter. You can trim an 1/8. This time I might go a little bit more. Just trim about the same amount off of each side. And that is up to you. If you don't want to futz with it, you don't have to. And notice I just went all the way around in a square, so then I knew which side I trimmed off of. And then I just folded that in half. It's an 80-pound cardstock. And now that's going to fit right onto there. So go ahead and put tape on it. And then you can attach the frame around the inside. Now, it's hard to put tape while it's folded. So I can either do half and attach it, and then the other half, I'm going to go ahead and tape the whole thing. And sometimes it is easier to just cut it down that middle section instead of do it as a folded piece. Now you'll notice that the lever card, well, it folds a little bit flat, but it is a little bit bulky. And my eyes are playing tricks with me this morning. I can't see, I can't see my scores. All right, so then I can open that up and attach that. So there is my one on the inside. Oops. Okay, now on the other half of the inside, I have these two pieces. And those are gold leaf metallic, and those I'm just attaching. However, this piece, I had cut just 2 hunks of it, and just to attach them, just to kind of pull that pattern into over here. So if you want to, before you attach it, cut, you know, a hunk of that. And this is 2 7/8. So I'm going to cut this to 2 7/8. So 2 7/8, and then I'm just going to cut 2 strips of it that are the same width, or approximately the same width. So maybe 1.5 inches. So just 2 strips of it if you want to use it there. If you don't want to use it there, you don't have to. If you want to put a different color cardstock in there, like a lighter creamy one for you to write on, that's where you would write. So I have 2 hunks, so I'm going to attach those right there. So let's get my tape gun out. And when you are attaching them, kind of get them at the same height. So if you have these next to each other, then you can kind of do them at the same height. So then when they're inside your card, they are at the same height. Okay, so now I can take and put tape on both of those, and I'm going to attach those to inside my card. Okay, so I can go ahead and attach one, and then I can attach the other. And your card might flatten out while you're doing that, and that's okay, because then it'll just kind of pop right back up. All right, now the last thing that we have is our words, which I have a thing of micro dot adhesive, which I'm going to do my words. I think as homework I said that you could, oh no, I said there was no homework because I figured I was just going to do this at the same time. Although I didn't bring a pokey with me. a pokey tool. I don't think I have one in my kitchen. So I'm going to do the best I can with my thick fingernails. Okay, so I got the happy. And my 4 is mostly die cut. If I had a little pokey tool, I could get it out better. Because sometimes if you have a pokey tool and there's just one area that's not die cut, there we go, then you can just, okay, but I do need a little pokey tool to do that. So hang on one second. I'm going to get a knife. A knife will work as a pokey tool. So don't try this at home. Because you guys, I'm sure, have a better pokey tool than me. I could have gone to the drawer behind me and probably gotten out a skewer. That might have worked just as well. There we go. See, a knife does work. You have to improvise sometimes if you are away from your supplies. All right, so now I have my micro dot adhesive. I have my little strip. And for my micro dot adhesive, I'm just going to stick my words in there, hopefully in an area that has adhesive still on it. This is probably a used sheet from my my demo area. So let's see. Usually I will lay them out before I start sticking them down, just so I know approximately where they're going to stick before I stick them. So after this, it is snow blowing and shoveling fun. Well, I wouldn't go right to fun. All right, so since I have my U a little bit off-centered, I'm going to trim a little bit off here. If you centered yours, great, you can just leave it. I'm only trimming mine because it's a little bit off-centered. So, and that's okay. Nobody's going to know, well, except for all of you who are watching me.
Somebody wants to know, Sarah, does the square, shiny silver piece go on the back side of the gold square piece?
No, the silver shiny piece goes, the gold piece goes on top of the silver piece. So this gold piece goes on top of the silver piece.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm going to attach that, which it's upside down. So I did use foam tape for that, but I don't have any foam tape here. So I am just going to use my regular adhesive. That's totally up to you, what you want to use. And I only did trim mine because it wasn't totally centered. So if yours is centered, you could leave it the length because it's 6 inches, but I trimmed mine because it wasn't centered. And if you want to use foam tape right here, go for it and use foam tape. So there is our card. Actually, the Happy For You is upside down, but you could write right here and right there. So when you're doing this with Jennifer, you'll attach your little blingy flower to right there. Or, you know, something else. If you want to attach something else right there, you can. So now that was exactly a half an hour. So let's go on to our second one. And it's going to be the same assembly. So some of you, if you took your folded piece out of this one, you are going to be missing it, and I do apologize, and we will get that in the mail to you. So let's go through what we have in our kit. We have our envelope. Set that off to the side. There's more pieces in this one, so we'll see. You have your window card. You have your lever assembly. You have one printed one, and again, this is in the pattern paper pack that's due in February 1st. You have a metallic one, so we don't have them in metallic. So this is where if you want to do one in metallic, you can, you know, take one of your squares, just like I showed you, and you could trace it, and then you could cut out your own. Or if you have a die that's that exact size, sometimes you could just set it right in there, tape it, and it will cut it. So I prefer to go a little bit bigger if possible. So those are the two frames that you have. Then you have two pieces that are going to go on the inside. You have a scallop border that goes on the front that needs to be trimmed. You have another piece that's going to go behind there that we're going to trim. You have the Celebrate, which was in your first kit. It was on the same page as the Happy For You. This is one die set that has these two words. They kind of work nice on the 6-inch cards because they're a little bit longer, and they're horizontal. Okay, well, I will futz with that a little bit later. You have the black square, which I don't know why I gave this to you. Besides, you have it, but I don't think you need it for any reason. Nope. And then you have these 3 black squares that will all layer together. This is not shown in there, but I figured that if you wanted to put a happy birthday in there, you could put that on the inside. So those were just extra too. So yeah, you have a square frame that you don't need. So let's get going. I'm gonna put all of my pieces aside, and my demo one I actually taped together, so I have to do it like right with this one. So we're gonna have our window on our left-hand side. Then we have our lever piece, and we're gonna, around the section that has the half cut square, we're gonna valley fold that. We're gonna mountain fold, and then we're gonna valley fold. So, and that kind of makes this little W piece. Okay, that's our little W piece. We're gonna fold this section all the way back, just so it's easier to work with. So now I can do this because it's on black, but I don't know that you're gonna see it. But right here and right here, we need to make our squares, or our corners, match up. So just like, I can show you actually with this, but see how this is gonna slide right into there? So our corners meet, and we're doing exactly what we did before. So our corners are gonna meet of our square, our window card, and our lever. So we're gonna match those corners up, and it'll fit in there exact, okay? That's why it's easier for these to be pre-cut than trying to cut these yourself, because before we had the die to do it, and we don't have a little die to do this because this goes like on our big printing press type machine. But before we did that, I was hand cutting these to mock them up, and yeah, I was probably cursing a little bit because it wasn't fun. But we're going to put tape right here. So again, tape around our frame, and then we're just going to fold that down. And again, if you wanted to, if you were mixing and matching, you could take a little bit off all the way around, so you're going to see the border. Like if you mixed and matched a black pack and a white pack. Or just even if you just wanted to cut a little bit off, you know, so you didn't have to worry about it lining up edge to edge over here. So line those up, put tape around here, fold that in. Okay, then remember, we can't just fold because we'll put a big kink right here. So again, we're going to pick that up and see how that lever folds around. So that lever folds around. We need to get it all the way folded around, and then we can set our card down with the rest of the folds. And then we're going to put tape right here. It's hard to pick up with fingernails. Okay, slide off the counter. And like when I folded mine, I didn't do a great job folding it. So one of my folds is, I wasn't very deliberate when I was folding or attaching. So I have a little bit of crookedness here on mine. So when I bring this up, I'm going to match these up instead of just fold it flat, because I had a little bit of crookedness going on. Okay, so there. And I forgot that you would actually see that part when I used my Sharpie, but we're going to cover that up with these squares. So let's bring our frame, our printed frame, remember, is going to fit right over the top of there. If you want, you could take a little bit off of all the sides, so then you'll see the black border on there. Totally up to you. So we're going to put tape on there. Now this was our one kit in the last few years that we were very rushed doing, and so that's why Becky she probably missed a few.
Blame it on the Christmas sugar.
Yeah. So yes. Usually we don't miss too many pieces and we get our kits out on time. This was a little bit rough one after the coming back from the holidays, and yeah, it was a little bit rough. So we've got that attached to the front. Now we are going to attach our 3 layers together, remember, and this fits like almost exactly in there. And again, you can trim that down if you want, but it's going to be tight in there, okay? And again, you can trim if you want to, but I'm not going to because it's 3 layers this time. This black layer right here, this is a Star Dream layer, but it's a 65 pound. Now mostly Star Dreams are, this is a Star Dream also. This is a 105 pound Star Dream, and most of the Star Dreams are 105 pound, and that's the only way they come. We have 5 colors that are this 65 pound weight. And usually I'll have them on special. Like I don't even know if they're all the time on my website. But I'm going to look, but this is a 65 pound Star Dream, and it's a little bit lighter weight. So that's why I put it in there for layering. I'm going to check as soon as we get off and see if I have, because we have it in white, brown, no, not white. We have it in black, which is onyx, brown, which is bronze, pink, which is rose quartz, blue, which is Vista. And I think we do have white actually, called Crystal. Which this one, it's funny because this is one of our glitter papers and it's also called Crystal, but it's Crystal Diamond Print. And it's like a chunkier glitter. So let's layer our squares. And we're going to layer that square.
Someone wants to know, did you cut the pink down a little bit?
I did not. This time I did not cut my pink down, and it fits in there very tight. And you are more than welcome to cut your pink down if you want to. This time I did not, but yes, it does. It fit. Once I get this one on, I'll attach it, and it fits in there pretty tight. And there is room on there that you could cut that pink down. But yeah, I kind of slid it in, and well, I'm going to put tape on the back. I'll line up my corners right here, and then I'll push it down because it's pretty tight in there. But yes, if you want to cut it down a little bit, you could. Definitely, there's a little bit extra room on that pink layer to cut it down. So yeah, I'm going to put it in. I am going to line up my corners. I'm kind of holding it on my belly. Hopefully you're not seeing my belly. And then I'm just going to push it. So Again, these two, well, let's go to the inside. So that's my outside. And then on the inside, so on the inside, this one I did cut down. So you can see on my sample that I cut down the inside, and ignore this inside cutout because that's when I was hand doing them. But I cut down the inside, and then I cut it in half when I attached it. Because this is a heavier cardstock, it's a 105-pound Star Dream, and it was easier to, you know, cut it in half. So I think the easiest thing to do, because this is 6 inches, is almost to cut it at 3 inches first, and then if you want to cut a little bit off the borders, you can, because otherwise you have to do math and figure half of after you cut it in half. So I just thought it was easier to cut it at 3 inches. You know, or you could fold it like we did, but this is a little bit heavier. And then if you want a border, then cut a little bit off each side, because it's just easier cutting the first cut at 3 inches. And I have about 15 minutes left. So that one I cut already. And see, when it's cut, you're going to see a little bit border all the way around here. So again, I cut it in half at 3 inches first, and then if you want to see the black border going all the way around, and again, this isn't required. It was just showing you different things that you could do to get a little bit different effects with your black border going all the way around. So now we're going to attach those, and they should line up flush to this inside, but then have a border going all the way around. So, okay. Adhesive. Now, mailing. So let's talk about mailing for a minute, because when you mail square cards, they cost more to mail, and that is for the reason that the mail machine doesn't know whether it has to go through this way or this way. So that's why square envelopes are more to mail, because they have to be like hand canceled instead of, it's hard to see on the black.
Someone wants to know what paper trimmer are you using?
Oh, that question does come up a lot in my on my Thursday nights. I do Thursday night lives, and this question has come up before, and we wrote it actually on the bottom. There's 2 versions of it. There's a generic version, and then there's one from We Are Memory Keepers. The We Are Memory Keepers says We Are Memory Keepers up here. I happened to get this one when I was out on the road, and it was before a class, and of course I was still prepping for my class, probably the night before in my hotel room, and I needed a trimmer. So I did get this one from Hobby Lobby, and it's just this little guillotine paper trimmer. I've got a SKU number. I'm not going to go through that right now. Or We Are Memory Keepers.
Your mom did post a link.
She did?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, we've been through that before. So if you haven't joined me on a Thursday night, you could join me on a Thursday night. I do a live every Thursday. So, okay. So we just attached those on the inside. And then we have 2 pieces of printed. And I did attach one fully to the inside back right here. The other one I trimmed, and I just randomly trimmed to about 7/8 of an inch because I attached one right here and then the other one right there. So, and that's if you want to. So yes, we have been through the whole paper trimmer thing before. And there, okay, and let's just say this. There is normally a guard right here, and I do make some people nervous that I take the guard off because I cut little things. But there is normally a guard right here that you slide your paper under to keep you from cutting your fingers off. So I cut one piece, I cut those pieces, so I have a little bit of that on the inside just to kind of pull that in. So now let's attach those. So this piece I kind of attached with it folded, so it kind of went right up to the score. It's hard working black on black.
She wants to know, what are you trimming now? Which piece?
Oh, there was two of these pieces. One of them I trimmed just at like 7/8 to 1 inch, and it's just going to attach like that. This one I had just attached right on the back. So these two pieces were the exact same size. One goes on the back, and then this one I just trimmed just to kind of pull that pattern paper from the front to that inside. So it's not necessary for the card. I just did it as part of the design. And so yeah, I just cut it. I cut mine 7/8 on this one. On the actual card, I think I cut it a hair bigger. But rather than folding them over, I trimmed it. So it's kind of like it's folded over right there, but I trimmed it. Okay, now this piece is totally extra, and you could almost use it just like that and put some little blingies right there to do that, or to do that. If you put another piece of white right here, you could write there in either spot. I don't have it attached on the inside of my card, but that's why I put those in there. So now we're going to go to the front. And I'm going to cut this one down. So I have the Celebrate. So we did take a border, because we have a couple borders and they're not quite long enough. So we cut it, or we die cut it once, and then we connected it. So depending on which one you have, I think I connected them pretty good where you can't see the connection. There might be every once in a while that you see a connection there, because really the die is only 5 3/4, and I wanted it to go all the way across. So first you're going to cut it at 6 inches. So first you're going to cut this border at 6 inches, and it doesn't matter which end you start at, but if you have a weird end on one side, you might want to cut it just to get that weird end off, and then you're going to cut it at 6 inches. Or you could cut it smaller if you wanted. Okay, and then our Celebrate's going to fit on there. And actually, I do have my pink piece is cut to about almost 3/4 of an inch. So it's wider right here. You're going to cut that at about 3/4 of an inch, or more if you want. So this is where there's usually a guard here, and I'm always very careful not to cut my fingers off, but I do make some people very nervous when I am doing this. Our yellow piece is going to attach right behind. You know, depending on how wide you cut it, like if you cut it narrower, you might need to trim a little bit of that yellow off. And that's Mai Tai Cocktail Metallic. So it's a different brand of metallic papers. So this one's a Star Dream, this one's a Cocktail Metallic. That's why it's called Mai Tai, because it's the name of cocktails. And I'm just putting some adhesive. I have 10 more minutes, so I'm not rushed. So I put some adhesive on the back of there, And now I am just going to stick that to, and just give a small yellow border back there. And hang on. I need to give it a little bit bigger because one side of my scallop, so I must have cut that crooked. So I'm going to give it a little bit bigger of a border. Okay, and then I'm going to get out my handy dandy knife pokey tool and poke out my E's. So I did give you, the 2 words to go on the front, and you can use them for whatever you want. So it doesn't have to be a celebrate birthday, but I did give you the inside birthday words just in case you were using it for a birthday. But there's like celebrate retirement, there's celebrate a wedding, there's celebrate because of just something good happening in someone's life. So this is going to attach onto there. So let's pull out our microdot adhesive or glue. Now I tend to use my microdot adhesive more in the middle, so I'm going to try to find it outside. And I really probably need to give up on this sheet of microdot adhesive. But I want to get every speck of dots off there as possible. I don't like to waste any dots. So we'll try and get more dots off of there. Now, our microdot adhesive versus sticky specs, I kind of like ours better. The sticky specs I think are sometimes a little bit too sticky. So just a personal preference.
If they want to buy more of the cards like this, what are they called?
They are called square lever cards. And if you go to the easiest place, I put them in an easy place. I put them under the new section of our website. So if you go to our website and on the left-hand side, you'll see the different categories. Like it says bulk paper, slimline products, scrapbooking products, scored cards, envelopes. There is one section that says new products. And I put the square lever cards as the number 1 product. And I put the A2 lever cards, because this also comes in an A2 size, as the second item there. So just so you could easily find the lever cards. And if you don't prefer a square lever card, there are the A2 lever cards. So then this, I am just going to attach with adhesive.
And so that we're at 5 minutes.
Okay, well, perfect. We're doing good. Okay, so again, when you are with Jennifer this afternoon, you're going to attach your blingy thing right here. Or if you want to attach something else right there, you can have at her. But if you want to make the exact card, so let's get the cards out again. We have our 2 lever cards. I still do have a few lever card kits left. So we have our class kit in which you get what you saw, or you have the lever card kit which you can get in black or white, and those are 5-count kits. And it includes the window overlay, or the frame. So it includes the frame, the window card, the lever piece, and the envelopes. And those are 5 counts, and if you get a black and a white, then you can kind of mix and match and put them together however you want. So
do they include the middle piece?
They include the middle piece, yes.
The middle blingy piece?
No. The middle blingy piece, this piece is, you have to order that separate from Jennifer at Stamplistic. And she's going to be on. So she's going to be on at 3 p.m. Eastern time, so adjust your time zone. to make the blingy piece. Our class kit does not include the blingy piece. It's a crossover, so she did part of it, I did part of it. So other things to note. Next up is Live Inspired with Amber Bolton. So she'll be starting shortly. You do need to refresh to find her. And if you're on YouTube, like she won't be on YouTube, she'll only be in the Crafters Classroom Facebook page. So if you're on YouTube, you need to go back to Facebook and go into Crafters Classroom. Valerie Brown is our winner. So Valerie, I will send your prize out like with your next order, which will be the next set of class kits, or I think I saw an order in house for you. And what else do we have? Oh, Jennifer's going to be on at 3. She's going to do it in Facebook, but then I believe she posts it to YouTube. So if you're a YouTube watcher only, you won't be able to do it at 3 o'clock with her, but I will probably email you all out and let you know when it's uploaded onto YouTube, so then you can catch it on YouTube if you're non-Facebook. So anyways, thanks for joining me today, guys. Stay warm. If you're in someplace cold, get shoveled out. Stay safe, and we will see you next month. Bye. Have a great day.